stop! Yeah! And if you don't like it, you better take your ass up to the snooty box, because this is the loud spot! Okay, see you later.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Loud Spot. I'm your host, Sebastian Cosme.
And I'm your co-host, Taylor Spain.
And we are sitting with the very legendary, in my book, Eddie Casillas from the band Voodoo Glow Skulls. What's up, man?
How's it going, dudes? How's everyone out there doing? You guys good?
I'm fantastic.
Doing good, man. Doing good.
Just going in my living room.
I'm super excited to have you guys on. I remember listening to Voodoo Glow Skulls. Now, you guys have been around since what, 1988?
Exactly. Yep, 88.
And it was you and your brothers that originally started the band, correct?
Yep, my younger brother and I, and our old friend Jerry O'Neill was the original drummer, and then our older brother kind of joined like about a year after we started playing as a little like 3-piece band. He joined.
Nice.
I finally caught wind. So I was gonna say I'm 38, right? So I finally caught wind of Voodoo Glow Skull sometime right after high school. Okay. And I remember the first time I heard El Cucuy.
Okay. Yeah, that's always the case. I always hear about high school. That seems to be like that's the kind of that's people's era for our band, you know, at least when they first heard about us and all that stuff. But yeah.
Yeah, I heard El Cucuy and I was like, this song is sick. And I remember just playing it, thinking I was super cool, listening to that song, walking around everywhere I went, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, for the time, it had that a certain sound. I mean, it had its own thing. For there being ska punk bands are like out already, it still had its own element. You know, had its own kind of darkness and sound, and no one really sounds like that, I guess. I mean, especially then. So
no,
yeah, I guess we kind of felt cool when we recorded it. Knew it was going to be a thing, if at all. Like even we were just glad to record it and write that song and put it out like with a real recording, because we knew it had its own thing, at least, if anything. I mean, we never really thought a song like that could be like, oh, that might stand the test of time, because it's so, you know, we weren't thinking that way. We're like a backyard party ska punk band, you know, sort of from the semi-hood kind of. So we always had kind of hood roots a little bit, you know, so we never thought like, oh, it'll reach like across like to other countries even or that kind of stuff. But yeah, man, we kind of still knew. I think it was different enough, but we just didn't know how far it would reach. You know.
Now, taking you back to when the band first started, okay, there couldn't have been that many ska. Now, you guys are from Riverside, California, so Southern California, where ska's super big. But in the late '80s, was ska really a thing back then, or was it something new?
Well, it was new being done the way we were doing it and about to do more of, and there was only a few bands that were doing it. In the late '80s, there had already been like Fishbone, you know, I mean, who's in Southern California. That was I guess I'm speaking for myself, of course, and some of the guys in my band, especially like the OG 4 guys in the band that really started the sound. We were big in the Fishbone, especially I guess the rhythm section, like the drummer and I and the bass, you know, George, you know, like my younger brother, we were big in the Fishbone. Like that was our shit. I mean, them and the Red Hot Chili Peppers and Jane's Addiction. When you're, you know, that close to Los Angeles and it's 1985, 86, 87, that was like the trifecta. And then you had all
prime time
going on and everything else too. But they were the bands that were getting signed and getting big, like, you know, like in LA. And but then there was the outside stuff like the Guns N' Roses going on, and then all the punk rock stuff, like I said, all the 80s punk stuff. But going back to Fishbone and ska, them and like the Untouchables, I think, were like some of the only bands. And then there was No Doubt, who was already a thing, and definitely a ska band at that time, like more like Rude Boy dress up ska band. At least for that period, you know, I guess like when they were like in high school age, you know, and then there was the Boss Tones and Operation Ivy.
Yeah, man,
that was kind of it, you know. I mean, we kind of crossed paths with like Skankin' Pickle and those bands like a little later when we were already all kind of doing horn ska punk, kind of melded together, you know. But we kind of didn't we were kind of on our own little thing as it was, man. We kind of liked funk at first, punk funk, and we weren't good at doing it, but we were trying to, like in 1985, we were trying to be like kind of like the Chili Peppers whenever we were first playing, and this is kind of pre Voodoo Glow Skulls, and then right into the starting of our band, because we kind of played with the same musicians anyways, like our little like a little group of friends kind of learned at the same time, so we kind of, that was our first stuff that we learned, is like the heavy metal stuff, the early punk rock stuff, and then like I said, when we started to get kind of old enough to know about the Hollywood scene, that was only about an hour away. So we were influenced by every bit of like the Hollywood, like the LA scene was like. First, it was like like punk rock in the like the late '70s, early '80s. It was like the glam rock kind of hair bands.
Yeah, yeah.
I was 15 and 16, so how was I not going to learn about Motley Crue? And then
Right.
that was like the punk rock for a minute, sort of. I hate to say it, but when punk rock kind of got dissipated and kind of faded out, the new punk rock for a minute was the dudes doing heroin and looking like chicks and getting all the girls. That was kind of punk rock. I hate to say it, but it's, at least for me. So I kind of like gravitated towards all the scenes, and then at the same time you had like the Chili Peppers, like I said, and Fishbone doing ska with like when Fishbone was kind of doing their more of a ska sound for sure at that time. Like they were really more of a ska.
I think what's cool about Voodoo Glow Skulls, listening to your music, see, I never personally really put you in the ska genre. You have horns, but to me, Voodoo Glow Skulls always have like a harder edge, like a more punk edge, because you hear a lot of ska mixed with like kind of the pop punk, and you guys were like punk, doing it with the trumpets and stuff. And I thought that for being ska, I would say, maybe it's because you're one of the originators of the sound.
Yeah.
Definitely a different style. I mean, everyone who's in a ska band has to look up to your band as an influence, as one of the influences. If they don't, they need to.
Well, that's nice of you to say, and that's cool that some people might think that. And I mean, we kind of got, and I don't want to go there because it's kind of being like I hate to say bad shit like an interview about anything, but to be fair, what kind of molded our band, we were always kind of a punk, like I said, a punk funk thrashy band that we liked Anthrax and Slayer and Iron Maiden was a big, that's my biggest influence. But so I came from that first, kind of as a pre-adolescent kid, and then I got into punk and then the ska stuff. So the roots are kind of still based in hard rock and heavy metal, because that's kind of what came first. Like after, for me, I'm about to be 50 years old. I'm 49, and that's my age group. That's what I grew up on. So it's either like certain things that you just heard when you were a kid. So we were always going to be out of the box band playing. We were always going to mix our influences for sure, I think, because we like too much of everything. And
that's awesome. Yeah, and you can tell you do in the music that you write. And your music that you write today still sounds similar. It's like you haven't really, it's like your sound still sounds like Voodoo Glow Skulls, which is so important for bands, I think, to stick with the music that they started with and continue to write similar songs.
Yeah, man, I appreciate that. Yeah, we've we probably steered off to the right or left. I mean, this is our 10th album that's about to come out. So we've
congratulations.
Awesome.
Oh, thanks, man. We've kind of veered off a little bit and sort of changed our sound slightly, but not to where it's like that's not voodoo. I mean, now with all the lineup changes, and I mean, it's really the principal music and lyric writers left, but we don't have the original singer, which is kind of crazy to even for people with a band like us that's been around for so long. Like we're more of a we're like a legacy band, man. It's not like a 2-album band. It's like a family band too, So to come out and try to hold your head up high with a new album and show, even try to convincing fans that have listened to the band for so long, hey man, here's a bunch of new music and the original singer's not there. I mean, that's a crazy sell. But to be fair, man, we've always done this. I've always done this. It's always kind of come from the guitars and the bass to begin with, not to. That's just where it started as far as the music goes. So I'm hoping that when people hear it, it's pretty evident, like that. Oh, it's gonna be voodoo still. Like the sound is there, and the sound might have changed for sure. We changed along with the vocals a little bit. We kind of welcome. I mean, we kind of welcome the sound change. It's been, this is the 10th album. I mean, I think we did a decent job of making it sound like Voodoo for sure, but like using the best elements of whatever has to bring, because it's just a different era, a different time. With what went down in the world, it's kind of a crazy record to begin with. Just what was going on the last 4 or 5 years, and then from the Trump era to the pandemic era to a new singer in the middle of it without planning on doing that. Like, it was going to be sink or swim. We were going to stop. Like for about 3 weeks to a month, we were like, okay, we're done. We're going to be done. We're just going to. Not to be weird about it, but we've been all over the world, man. We've kind of done.
Dude, that is not weird. You know what? You should be proud of that shit, dude.
But not to make it sound like, oh, I've been there, done that, because I'm not.
Yeah.
I've never been lost on it. Like, I just put out. We about to put out like the most DIY record we've done since the first one. That we're back on the OG label, kind of doing things ourselves in a lot of ways with just a couple of friend kind of slash I guess like an intern type friends that are just kind of helping us out, and with a small indie label, we're just kind of back to square one.
Your newest song you came out with is "Living the Apocalypse," right?
Yeah, it's been a little bit over 2 weeks since it's been out.
So pretty early. I think I'm going to share it. Are you cool with that?
Yeah.
Let's check it out. I know you say you don't do a lot of podcasts, or you haven't done very many, but check this out. There you go. Nice. That is so cool, man.
Thanks, dude, for sharing that, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, dude, that song is sick. So what I love about that video is, first, I've noticed that you guys don't have very many actual music videos. You have a lot of videos like the still screen. From what I've looked at, that mask that you have with the green, does that have a name? Does that have a name?
Well, we've always called
that guy.
I mean, we've always called it the Voodoo Man. I don't know why that just stuck, but I guess that would be the Voodoo. That would be the Voodoo Man. We don't have anything else. Like, that's what it's always called. So it's nice. It's Voodoo Man. But that's the guy from the Feed Me album cover from our first Epitaph record, which is our second album.
Yeah.
And we just kind of always wanted to have like once again, going back to our influences, going back to Iron Maiden, we've always wanted like a mascot guy, like a thing.
Yeah.
The people, I mean, just like the Misfits have their thing and everyone else has their thing. We've always thought once we get something that sticks, we're going to use it, and that's what we use, and it totally works with everything, the sound, where the band kind of comes from. We just kind of think it kind of works, so we always try and incorporate it when we're trying to bring it back a little bit more.
Nice.
Well, when you first went on tour, and you've done world tours, right? So how many world tours have you done?
As far as going around the world, well, they're kind of usually spread out. I would love to be like one of those bands that could be like, we're going on a world tour for 2 years straight, and it kind of works that way, but it's not really the way the big time bands do it when you're, I guess, punk rock and like kind of DIY. But we've done, if I could break it down, I guess if I had to think about it, we've done Japan about 7 or 8 times. We've done South America about 5 or 6 times. Mexico probably about a dozen times. Europe probably about a dozen to about 20 times.
Wow.
A few other places that kind of included, some kind of off the wall places. We've been to Russia like a few times. That was nuts. We should have been a lot more to a few places, but we kind of missed it at certain times. Just like at certain points in your career, it's not the same way for most bands, of course, but I mean everyone's different. But we've just had like moments where we've had to like not be able to get to certain places, whether it was the weather or whether we had to cancel for like some family stuff or always something, but we've missed a couple opportunities. But yeah, we've been, I mean, as far as like the world goes, if we had to sum it all up, I'd say about a dozen times if you had to stick stuff together in places. But it's usually like, okay, we're going to Europe for a month, and then you go, and then you come back for a month or a couple weeks, and then you go somewhere else, and then you do that like a tour around the U.S. and then come home from the U.S. and you might fly to Japan for a couple weeks or a week. That's kind of how it goes.
Do you have a memory that sticks out in your head that you think about constantly, being on the road as one of the most memorable times you've had, maybe on stage or in a certain country that you've played at?
Oh man, there's a few. There's just been like moments where it's been kind of surreal, where you're like, I can't believe we're playing this festival and we're in this tent and there's like it's raining outside. There's like mud everywhere. You can't walk anywhere really without putting plastic over your shoes and having like a raincoat on, but you're in some weird backstage tent with like, it's just been not that weird, but like weird stuff. Like, okay, there'll be like the Pet Shop Boys playing the giant festival stage outside, playing in like Eastern Europe. One time we were backstage and at the stage that we were playing at a giant like a all day kind of like a Coachella thing that lasts for like a week, right? And it was in Denmark, and we were on the same stage as like the band leader at the time for like the Tonight Show, Branford Marcellus. He had like a funk band that was playing the same stage as like Voodoo Glow Skulls and like Less Than Jake or some punk bands. And then there was like the Jim Rose like side circus show stage was on that same stage too, doing their circus show. So there was like a guy like lifting up weights like with his dick, like with his bar. Like while we were backstage, probably smoking weed or smoking hash, drinking, and then talking to the guy from the Tonight Show about his band, and he's just there chilling like a normal dude in a band, like not
just kicking it.
And then there's guys in like random 90s punk bands around too, and then on one stage, Motley Crue's playing a major side stage, playing out so you could hear them. And then the Pet Shop Boys are on another stage. I remember that. So it's always funny stuff. But I mean, there's been stuff like that. I mean, we did an overnight train. The last time we went to Russia, we did an overnight train from Moscow to St. Petersburg. And it was just like an adventure. It was like a movie, man. We were like, it was one of our first times there. So we got taken in by like a independent promoter who were just like dudes, like it's always dudes like you guys or something, dudes that are into the scene that do something, that do their part, right?
Yeah.
We come in and we get picked up by just like guys that are doing a show, and they we're gonna travel to the next show in St. Petersburg, which is like a major city away. It's probably like they're going from like San Francisco to LA or something, but like longer.
That's like an 8-hour drive. So this would be like maybe a 15 or 16-hour drive, right?
Well, this would be a 20-hour train ride.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay.
So the guy's like, we're gonna
big one.
With his accent, we take the train. So we take the train. We take the train all night with just the band and our little crew guy and a promoter and some guitars. And we're in one of those that's like Trading Places. It's like the Eddie Murphy movie or something. Like we're in a little cart with a bed that folds down with 4 beds, and we have 2 little like carts, and they turn into couches, and you're just on a train watching Russia go by at night after our show in Moscow. Instead of like the typical, we're going to go to the hotel and sleep, and then the next day or something. Nah, man, play a show, get dried up.
You still got that leftover adrenaline.
Yeah,
still a little buzzed. Jump on a train.
Exactly it, man. And then we went back to whatever hotel we had, changed up real quick, and went straight to the train and rode a train all night. And whether you want to sleep or not, it's up to you. But man, we're on a train all night going to St. Petersburg. I don't know if I'll ever do that shit again. And then,
it's wild. How could you sleep?
And then, no, we didn't sleep. And the dude busts out fucking, like some bottles of vodka, which you're not allowed to drink on the train, I guess, unless you buy it from the bar when the bar's open. So, of course, the train cops show up to the carts while we're in like fully into the trip. Not like just cracking bottles. It's like, oh, dude's running amok, walking around the train with bottles and like mess,
Yeah.
But it was pretty surreal. That was a surreal moment, man. That was like, because we got to experience like what it is to walk. And I came across some YouTube videos of this, not like a while back, but where you walk through the train from the richer part to the poorer part.
Okay.
Yeah. First class back to
low class.
And not like that because, man, I'm punk rock, dude. Punk rock tour. We're not, we're not getting rich off the tour. We're playing rad shows, but come on, but it was pretty. We had a little sleeper train thing, but we walked ball buzz and probably high through the other. You can walk through the whole train almost, and it's like there's people in trains that are like, it's communal. It's like bunk beds in jail, like open bunk beds in jail, bro. And it's like,
oh wow,
like it's families sleeping on bunk beds together and like on the side of the train, and we're like, whoa, this is like probably like. And the guy had explained to us, oh yeah, this is what you get when you pay like, this is $20, or like, it's like a $20 ticket or something.
I wonder if there's some Russian person somewhere who has the like other side of the story. Like, yes, Papa and I had to sleep in the bunk on a train one time, and there were these weird punk men who came by and
these Americans
gin and yelled something in English at us.
Yeah, weirdos on top of weirdos. Yeah, exactly.
Excellent.
Tell us about. So you have a new lead singer, right? So as a band, was it hard to being around as long as you guys have? Was it hard to find that new lead singer that fit the band, or did you already know this lead singer before he joined?
Well, we already knew him for sure.
Okay,
we had done some shows with him, and we had done some shows with his band Death by Stereo, who've been around for a long time. And they've done the whole same thing as us, man. They put out records on Epitaph Records. They've been around the block. They still go around the block. They're still very much an active band. So we knew him, and we had done some European shows with them. That's I think the last time we had done a show like in Orange County, which is out here in Southern California, where they're from. We had done a show with them a few years back before this went down, and it was never a plan. Of course, it was like we didn't know it was going to happen. We didn't know it. We just kind of thought we were kind of cruising. We thought we were cruising for a while. I mean, with there being three bros in the band, there's always something, man. I mean, three family members. You could say what you want to each other, and other people have to listen to it that are touring with you. I mean, imagine that, and imagine dudes that are getting closer and closer to 50. One is past 50, and you're just getting to the age, especially where you're like, man, I've done my life already too. We're not little kids. We're past the little all the, you know, but we had been
Yeah.
fine. We'd been fine the whole time. It's not like I could tell you a bunch of horror stories about the band as a, I guess, as a business and then as a playing. And we gotten to do. We've been very. I mean, we've been very fortunate for a DIY band, man. From being from where our town is and the kind of music that we play. Going back to the ska thing, we kind of weren't accepted in the ska scene right off the bat, but we knew that already. So we kind of like had all this other stuff that we dealt with in the earlier part of our career. To, I think made the band kind of strong to be around for 30. You know, we were around for 31 years when that went down. So we were around forever. You know, or I mean, well, for 29, 30 years. But to go back to it, it was never a plan. He just kind of quit and left in a bad way and in a bad spot that was never planned and kind of like in a dramatic way. And some of it, a lot of it, I hate to say, comes from, you know, from alcohol and, you know, like substance stuff. You know what I mean? You got to curb it at a certain point when you get older and you can't act like you're 23 years old when you're almost 50. And,
I'm gonna put this wine glass down tomorrow.
oh man.
No, I'm just kidding.
You know, I mean, but I mean, you know, when you're doing business and you got to, and there just became a point to where like the mutual respect was starting to not be there for sure for a few years.
Yeah.
And he moved away to a different state about 20 years ago and changed a little bit and kind of distanced himself. But we kept the band going and it was fine for years. And we dealt with some family turmoil here and there, like we always have, you know. And it just came to the point to where I think we grew apart to where it's like, okay, this guy lives 4 hours away in a different state and sort of doesn't have the same sort of same values anymore. Kind of doesn't think, not that you have to think the same way, but
it matters. It matters.
Been in the same place, man. I mean, my brother in the core of the band, it's kind of been keeping it going here in my home studio the whole time, and kind of waiting for outside kind of forces to come in and join us. You know,
I was gonna ask you. You kind of answered it, sort of. My next question was gonna be, how does a band that's been around since 1988 and now it's 2021, how do you stay motivated to write new music? Because I mean, a lot of bands after just so many albums just kind of they fall off, but you're still able to pull it together, come out with a new song, new music video not that long ago. How do you keep interested in that?
Man, it's just what I mean, I hate to go back to I, but still, we've always kind of based it on. It's always been sort of guitar riff driven band, and then the horns and the other pieces have always come in after the fact. But we've always kind of based it on guitar based stuff, and then we bring in the vocals and the horns at certain points, right? I mean, speaking for myself, and I guess my younger brother George, who wrote the most he's ever written on, he kind of picked up the slack. So he wrote 6 of the songs, which is more than half. He came in with all these riffs based on just the bass guitar. I mean, starting from the bass with like complete songs. Pretty much like, here's the way it's going to start. Here's the middle verse part. Here's the chorus. If we want to add something, we can add something. But he pretty much came in with whole songs, and with complete lyrics too, which is not a first for him, but he sort of was out of the process in the past. It was mostly myself doing a majority of the music and about 50 to 60% of the lyrics, and then Frank was just doing the other half of the lyrics when I didn't do them with him. So this time it's like a whole different trip because my brother picked up that slack and even then some, and did like at least half. I mean, about half of the album were based on his initial ideas. You know, so it's a whole different. It's still, you get the Casillas kind of like the family brother thing, but brother who's always been there and has always written, kind of just said, okay,
he kind of took the wheel this time.
Yeah,
a little bit
on his own naturally. Like, oh, I have another song. Oh, I have another song, and it's gonna show. I mean, I think that's how the record might sound, kind of slightly different. But to get back to your, I mean, to what you I guess asked. I've never been lost on it, man. I've never been kind of lost on style of music or what we've done, because it feels like I'm the same. I feel the same like when I was like when we were doing like the first Epitaph album or even before, where trying to make it the same band but a new sound.
I think the sound that you guys have is timeless. I think no matter how old you guys get and you're still writing music. I know it sounds bad how old you guys get, but I'm just saying
Oh, dude, it's happening, man. But this has been going on since I was 19. So hey,
no matter what I meant to say is no matter how long the band's around for, I think especially in Riverside where you live, ska is going to live forever or for a very long time, and you're always going to have fans and fans that are my age, older than my age, and fans that are just now getting to know what ska is. I think that the ska sound is literally just a timeless. Just the music itself is always going to be there, and you're fortunate enough to be involved with that genre and be as successful as you are doing the music that you love, man. So
thanks, man. Yeah, I mean we've always thought it was that doing that kind of mix. I mean we've always liked the horns with kind of like the heavier stuff, of course, and we had the ska like little like the drop ins, the little like ska parts and stuff, but we've always just kind of done it our own way. Still, I guess our own version of ska, if you call it that. Some people won't even call it that. For sure, you can't deny that we use horn, like
right, yeah.
I mean, we use elements of ska for sure, but
for sure.
But I mean, we've been denied the ska tag, and I mean, kind of for good reason. I mean, I've never really been like a rude boy type necessarily. We've always kind of liked it all, like I said, and I like that stuff. I like trad ska a lot too, and we take from it. We take from it a lot. With the stuff that I love, at least, which is some of those bands, just like I would take from Iron Maiden and from Slayer and from Hatebreed or Sick of It All.
Yeah.
The list goes on and on of stuff that I love, man. From that stuff to trap and rap music to Mexican music and not just that, folk and Irish music and punk rock music. Like a lot of the folk, like the folk Irish punk bands have helped my band out. It seems like we've done like the Flogging Molly Cruise and have toured with them and a few.
Nice.
So there's always been, we've kind of liked it all, and I kind of listen to it all.
And people nowadays need to understand that, and especially these kids. You can like one style, but you can also like other styles and take influences from all styles of music. Yeah, I listen to everything. My favorite happens to be punk, and congratulations. I do believe that Voodoo Glow Skulls and you are the first ska band to be on my podcast. I've done a lot of punk bands, done a lot of heavy metal. I've done some rap music, gonna do country soon because I like it all. But first ska right here.
Well, thanks, man. Yeah, and this is a cool operation, man. I like this. The way this I can already feel like I'm on a cool show by seeing these graphics already there. It's rad.
You are on a cool show.
Yeah.
You are. Taylor, do you have any closing questions for Eddie before we end this? Then we're going to give Eddie the last word.
Man, other than just, I got some friends down in Arizona, and I see you guys are playing down like the 29th in Tempe. Is that right?
Yep, we just announced a show, which is kind of weird to say, but
well, say it softly.
Yeah, right. Very, very, very quietly.
It's a show.
We offered this show, Punk in the Park, with a bunch of great bands that we've kind of grew up with and have, started with Pennywise and Strung Out and a bunch of other bands. It goes down a cool list of bands. Voodoo Glow Skulls will be playing somewhere in the middle. We're on third or fourth band. May 29th at the water park, skate water park, surf. I kind of don't know it, but May 29th, Punk in the Park, punkintheparkaz.com, I believe it is. And I don't know how people feel about being at a show, but it's going to be outside. Most of my band is fully vaccinated now. I don't know how you feel about those politics. I don't want to get into that, but
nope.
Most of our band is, so at least we're going to feel a little bit, I think a lot of the bands are. I don't know about the crowd. I don't know about Arizona, man. I don't want to say, but I'm glad to be playing the show, and we'll be there. Hopefully everyone gets to rock and gets out of there safely. You know what I mean? And
hell yeah.
Finally gets curbed so everyone could just enjoy themselves and
go and enjoy. Yeah.
Just not just shows, man, and life, dude,
Absolutely. Any last things? Any last words you want to say about Voodoo Glow Skulls before I do my ending?
Well, thanks everybody for paying attention to us, and for anybody who still is and who's been a fan in the past and or a new fan now. Thanks for being there. It's not lost on us. We're still trying to do this, and whether it be with a new singer or an old singer, we're trying to trying to do our thing still and trying to keep it up to the same standard. And we'll be there when there's shows to be had. We'll be there.
Oh, yeah.
Hopefully one day. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
New album, Live in the Apocalypse, May 14th on Doctor Strange Records. The vinyl will be out in the later summer, fall.
Awesome. Okay. I want to thank you for being on the show. I don't want you to go anywhere. I do want to mention that we have a new sponsor, and we got from Pagosa Springs, Colorado, which is kind of near where Taylor lives, like an hour or so away, maybe.
Awesome.
You got Two Chicks and a Hippie. It's a coffee shop. Go there. You can check them out on Facebook. They got a neat coffee shop out there in Pagosa Springs. So if you're in a band, you're touring that way through Colorado, stop off the Two Chicks and a Hippie. Go get yourself a glass of coffee, or they got pastries and things like that. So thanks you to them for being our sponsor. I want to thank everybody who listens to The Loud Spot. Please go to www.theloudspot.net. Check us out on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all that good stuff. Eddie, don't go anywhere. Stay right there. We're going to end the show. Peace out, rock on, much love. And now I do that, and then I don't have my ending ready. So I gotta find my ending.
A little sharp there.
New outro. All right, Eddie, like I said, stay right there. Here we go.
This is the Loud Spot outro by nothing short of tragic. Is this all talk with no action? No. Is this my thoughts with distraction? No. Is this what I bought that's in fashion? Or is this the Loud Spot with Sebastian? Yes. Does nothing short of tragic have us back again? Yes. Does everything that's good really have to end? Yes. A pin post has to pin show, so to get more episodes, make an order, this is over.
Thanks for watching our video. If you liked our video and you watched it on YouTube, make sure to click that subscribe button and click that bell to get notifications. If you watched it on Facebook, don't forget to click the like and share with your friends. And if you watched it on Instagram, share it and give us a follow as well. Sebastian, he's going to tell you where to go to listen to the audio and get some cool merch. Sebastian?
Go to www.theloudspot.net. Make sure when you go on YouTube to smash that subscribe button to make sure you get notified every time we have a new video. Subscribe on Facebook. We go live Monday, Wednesdays, and Friday nights. Please give us a like, give us a share, comment, tell your friends. We're trying to do this big. Peace out. Rock on. Much love.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys. All right.
Bye, guys.
Man? Hey, when Michael St. Vicky's actually name is David, I know.
I was just replying back, Michael. I mean,
I know,
you didn't say shit to him. He's up there trying to let you know that he's in the parking lot listening to the show.
I know. I couldn't respond. I wish I could have responded, but I couldn't message him on Facebook. But I was like, well, I'll talk after this.
Yeah, and we had a lot of newbies in here. Jeffrey Leach.
Leith.
You know him?
Yeah.
Okay. Adam Keller.
I know him too.
We all know who Sharon is.
Hey,
Sharon. Hey, Sharon. Jason Hartman.
I know Jason.
Jean Sebastian, that's probably too French for me. Yeah, so, thank you for all you guys commenting. Thank you guys for checking out the show. This was recorded Tuesday on the ever-popular 420 day. So, but, of course, we're not smokers, so,
Yeah, I didn't bring it up.
Yeah. So that was our 420 show, basically. But we saved it for this Friday. What a week that we had. Well, you had. I didn't have it. I was going. They didn't show up. Okay, great, awesome.
Yeah, it was, but it wound up working out okay. And then I do want to talk about that. Hey, Sharon. I do want to talk about that. We are making some changes this summer. I booked a band for the 31st.
Failsafe.
Yeah, have you heard of them before?
Dude,
Pretty
I,
good.
I read your messages. I have the same emails. Remember?
I never even heard of them before. They got a hold of me on TikTok. So
Yeah, but that's in May. That's in May, not this.
that's in May. No, but May 31st. And then in this summer, we are going to make some changes. We're going to implement kind of maybe some game shows instead of musically related, obviously, instead of just interviews, because I like to keep things. I like to funk it up.
No, you should tell the truth. It's because you're getting tired of just doing the same old interviews. Hello, how are you? Nice to meet you, band. How long you been a band? How many albums have you put out? Can you tell me some stories from tour? Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah. There's only so many questions you can ask.
In other words, Sebastian's getting bored. That's what he's getting bored. He's like, Sam, I'm getting bored. I feel like complacent. So we decided, let's do some game shows. So one of the ideas we thought about, you thought about today, along with Anastasia, your spouse, is we're going to do the rocker and the spouse. You know, granted, it could be a male or a female, so we're not going to judge but we called it rocker and wife. Sam, you're getting some digital artifacts distortion. That's probably my internet connection. So
I hear you fine, but yeah, maybe on the live thing, it's doing that.
Well, it said something about my Diamond Noise agency is not connected.
I saw that. Yeah,
I didn't want to mess with it while we were broadcasting. So
I know. Just in case.
Just in case. So we're gonna have like a newlywed game, but basically music related. And so if there's anyone listening who's in a band and you're married, you got to or be in a long-term relationship. Let's say at least over 5 years, because I think we're not gonna really put a max on it, but or a minimum time. But I think guess my bra size do that. No, Sharon. We're not gonna. You're probably like XXX.
You just said you're not gonna do it, and then you did it.
Yeah, you're right.
That's what you always do. I'm not gonna do it. Okay, I'll do it.
Yeah. So, anyways, if you contact us, and we'll try to squeeze you in. We're not gonna do it too much. We're gonna still continue to do our shows. We talked about doing a break, probably somewhere along the way.
June or July. A couple weeks.
It was July 4th. The first week of July. We were going to probably take a break, get us, how about married but less than 5 years? Yeah, Adam. We're kind of still putting this all together. Over 5 years of hell, LOL, said Sharon. So, hey, that's your thing. So, but yeah, we got all those. Do you still have to take a shit right now?
Dude, I had so many jalapenos earlier. My stomach is killing me. So
he's like, Sam, you got to do the show. I'm like, why? He's like, man, I fucking ate some jalapenos at lunchtime, and they're just tearing me up right now.
Did I give the face like I got to take a shit face?
You did the. Let's speed this up here. Come on, Sam.
My stomach kind of cramped first. I was like, dude, I had like hella extra jalapenos and spicy peppers on top of that, dude. Is
and then what are you drinking? What are you drinking, sir? What are you drinking? Exactly. You mix all that. No, it does not help. It's freaking carbon up in your guts.
I can feel it.
How you like that? Yeah, it's the bubble. What is that? Royal oil, come on, bubble and boil.
I don't know. All right, let's get out of here. That's all we got, anyways. You can stay on if you want to go. If you want to, I'm gonna go.
Yeah, it just got froze up on my end. So
I did it. Okay. All right, let's go. Wait, I gotta go shit. Let's go, Wayne. Yeah, what Adam said.
Yeah,
right, we're out of here. Sam, I will talk to you later. All right.
See you guys.
Bye.
All right, bye.